here, just being present with the breath, just observing it. Inviting whatever it is that we need to come in to support us. And also spending this time to receive these very, very intense and very supportive solar energies. These energies are really supporting us as we move through to the 11/11 Stargate on the 11th of November. We then move into eclipse season. We have a lunar eclipse and then a solar eclipse. And then that takes us into the winter solstice. So very powerful time ahead, very intense, but very transformative as well. And the more we can just step out of our own way and just allow things to flow and move through us. And sometimes that might feel really uncomfortable, but it's the process, you know, it's just the process, it's allowing this supportive energy to come in to really highlight to us what our personal work is, what needs to be addressed, what needs to be looked at, so that we can really journey through this very powerful transformative time, which is the essence of the 11/11 Stargate. Feeling the support of the breath. Feeling the awareness just more attuned to the body, perhaps less up in the head. Moving into Shivananda Breath. So Shivananda Breath is just a very natural breath. We inhale for as long as it feels comfortable. We pause for as long as it feels comfortable. And then we exhale for as long as it feels comfortable. Okay, so not sort of feeling like you've got to take the most massive inhale and then pause your breath for the longest. It's just working in a really natural, rhythmic way. So a soft exhale out through the mouth. And moving into Shivananda Breath. So just taking or allowing an inhale to move into the body for as long as it wants to. And then a natural pause. It may be short, it may be slightly longer, but we're not dictating. And an easy exhale when it comes. So we're going to do 8 rounds. So I'll keep a track. Just carrying on, just witnessing the breath, expanding, pausing, and then when it's ready, releasing. Checking in, there's no tension coming into the face. And that this is actually an allowing of the breath. Allowing the inhale to be whatever it is. Allowing the pause to be however long it is. And allowing the exhale. So again, we are witnessing. We don't need to help ourselves breathe. And we tend to do that quite a lot. And that can actually create a lot of disharmony in our body. So we're allowing the body, the breath, the conscious energy contained within the breath just to find its own rhythm, its own groove. Just making this round your last one. There's no hurry. When you have finished, just gently opening the eyes. Coming into seated cat-cow. The legs into a diamond shape, the hands wherever they feel comfortable, and just a little bit of pressure, keeping the feet active, keeping the legs energized. So just a little bit. And again, the movement with the breath as we inhale, just that feeling of expansion, wanting to extend and open the heart space forward. And the exhale is an opening through the back of the heart, and the chin softens down towards chest. So again, it's very easy to just move the body, and breathing is kind of going on. So again, we're really just getting out of our own way and just really allowing the breath to move the body. So it's very subtle. And yes, we are getting involved, but we are guided by the breath. Good practice, again, getting out of our own way. Not feeling like we need to control everything, that we have to make everything happen. And it's gentle and it's soft. And then when the next exhale comes, again, no hurry, just staying here for a few breaths, softening chin to chest. Maybe an awareness of tension in the back of neck, base of skull. Perhaps you'd like to invite the breath to access that tension so the exhale can start to release it. Or maybe just preferring to really just completely get out of the way. Just let the breath do whatever it needs to do. Feeling the possibility for softening, for releasing, for letting go through the exhale. And then gently just bringing the torso upright, extending the left leg forward, bringing the right knee over for half knee pile. If this isn't comfortable for your body, if it aggravates anything, then you can come into an easy Janu Shirshasana if you wanted. It's up to you. Just taking a moment here, really lifting up through the crown of the head. Energy through the left leg is pressing down slightly, and then if you are in this half knee pile, through the outside edge of the right foot, if you gentle connection of the foot into the leg. And with the eyes closed, just taking a couple of breaths here, perhaps feeling the breath wanting to move down into the pelvis. Maybe feeling the breath more expansive around the rib cage. We're just observing. And then from here, if you'd like to, coming into a forward fold, what can help this is a softening in the left knee. So you can soften the left knee crease and just come into an easy, gentle forward fold. If it's too much for you today, if you're very tight in the back of your leg, staying in an upright position and softening chin down to chest. So the mornings are colder, the bodies are tighter. Our yoga practice is changing now as we move into deeper into autumn. Winter's not far away. So very accepting of the body that we have today, not trying to force it or push it into a certain position. Learning to accept what is in the present moment is very good practice for when we're off the mat, because there's a huge transformation taking place, not only for us internally, but for the collective externally. Things are starting to change. Doesn't look like it right now, but there's a big awakening on the horizon. So being able to be present in the moment, being able to witness what's taking place, being able to get out of our own way. And the foundation of all of this is to trust. Everything is happening for a reason. We are heading in the right direction. I know it doesn't seem like it at the moment. So we get this gift of being able to practice on the mat the qualities that will really allow us to maneuver through what's going to come up over the next few months. And then gently, if you were in a forward fold, just bringing the torso up, moving into the other side. So right leg extends forward, left knee into the half knee pile, or into an easy Janu Shirshasana, if that's better for you. And again, a moment here, that feeling of extension up through the crown of the head. The right leg is active. If you are in half knee pile, pressing down through the outside edge of left foot. If you're in an easy Janu Shirshasana, just gently pressing the foot against the leg. And a few breaths here, just to observe the breath. What's it doing? Where's it going? How's it feeling? But not labeling any of that. We're just observing. Observing and not labeling. It takes practice. Because we observe and then we start to label and, I feel a bit tight. And then we go off on this story about feeling tight. And, we just observe. We want to pigeonhole everything, good or bad. That's the duality of the mind. It's either this or that. And what we need to practice is it isn't this or that, it's just is. And then if you'd like to, coming into forward fold, soften the right knee crease if that helps you. And if it's not for you today, staying in an upright position and softening chin to chest. Maybe when the chin does soften down towards chest, there's a bit of tension, excuse me, a bit of tightness around the back of neck, base of skull. Maybe as the chin softens down to chest, you actually feel the tension in the fascia down the back and all the way down the back of the leg. Or maybe not, I'm just expressing what I'm observing in my body. And that's where it stops, just observing, rather than getting into this, I'm quite tight today, and la 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 la, it's just, okay, there's tension, full stop, end of story. Just witnessing how the breath, sorry, is always wanting to support us in our practice. The inhales are guiding us in, just coming into that internal space. Let me help you to stay in that vibration of witnessing. And the exhales are, allow me to let this go for you. Allow me to release whatever it is that you don't need at the moment. And so behind all of that is always gratitude, thank you. Thank you for this support, this guidance, this opportunity to let go. And then gently just walking the torso back up. Just keep the right leg where it is, and either take your left foot so it's aligned with your left buttock, kind of roughly inside your right knee, or if you want to, you can take your left foot to the outside of your right knee. Doesn't matter, okay? It's whatever you want to do. We're going to move into a twist over towards the left. So for me, my low back, I'm better just to keep my foot in line with the buttock. Taking the left hand behind you, so as if you can, try not to lock the elbow out or get your shoulder up towards your ear. And then we'll move into a twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen through right side of torso. Exhale, draw the navel in and then twisting from the mid-torso. Maybe elbow on thigh, maybe hand around the outside edge of your knee. But don't jam your body into the twist, okay? We're just observing. With the eyes closed, the inhale, lengthening the torso out of pelvis. And the exhale, the softening of the pubic bone into the body, the shoulders relaxing. And then we just witness where the breath is, how it's feeling. Is it feeling more expansive in the front of the rib cage? And again, that's it. We're just observing. We're not putting a story on anything, not labeling, attaching. Invite an exhale to soften any tension in the face. Slowly coming back to center, extending the left leg forward. So yogi's choice, well, it's your body's choice really. When you listen to it, you can either have your right foot to the inside of your left knee or your right foot to the outside. Okay, it's up to you. Take your right hand behind you if you can. Try and keep that softness in the elbow, the shoulder away from here. And then we'll move into the upright twist. Lifting and lengthening through the left side of the torso on inhale. Drawing on exhale, the navel in towards the spine. So that is creating the movement in the torso. And your elbow may rest on your thigh. You may prefer your hand on your knee. A sense of extension up through the crown of the head. Exhale, just a softening of the pubic bone into the body, checking in that the shoulders are relaxed. And then observing, just observing your body, how it is, the breath, what's going on. There's nowhere to get to, there's nothing to do. We're so conditioned to try. If it hasn't already gone in, by the time you get to primary school, it goes in at school. You have to try, always have to try, got to try harder, somewhere to get to, you're supposed to be like this, got this goal, need to achieve it. And it keeps us trapped and disconnected. What it's really about is just being, just being who we are, just being present in this moment and observing whatever is taking place with no attachment or with no aversion. then gently just coming back to center. We're going to do a very easy Paschimottanasana, okay? But autumn hamstrings need a little bit of support. So softness in the knees. You can be as bent as you want. The more bent your knees are, the more space you're going to have around your lower back and the back of pelvis, okay? So I'm quite bent today. Take a moment here, just lifting up through the crown of the head. And then gently coming into an easy Paschimottanasana. So you may want to rest your hands on the floor for support. You may like to hug your legs. Again, a softening of the chin towards the chest. Allowing gravity to, and an exhale, just to soften the shoulder blades away from the spine. And observing the breath, the body. Every inhale is come journey deeper with me. Every exhale, let me let go of whatever it is you don't need. Gently bringing yourself up, coming to lay down on the back, on your back. So bringing the knees in, you can either do we're going to move into happy baby. So you can either just hug your knees out towards your armpits, if this is feeling better for you today, or if your hamstrings are okay with it, just opening up at the knees, taking your hands around your calves, your ankles or your feet. Again, yogi toe lock if you like to go classic, index and middle finger wrap around the big toe with the thumb. A sense here of wanting to feel grounded through the sacrum. And no forcing the knees in towards the armpits. Okay, just letting the body be. The mind is not interested in being, in being present, being still, observing, because that actually takes us away from the mind. The mind always wants activity, drama, roller coaster ride. Oh, I like this, I don't like that, I want this to be that way, and then I get pissed off if it isn't. Angry or irritable if our day isn't going the way that we want it to go. That comes from a place of trying to dictate how our life should be, which comes from the distortion of the mind, which wants to dictate how our life should be. So it's a massive trap. It's a big old hamster wheel that we've all been on, and it's time to step off and to learn to maneuver through life from this place of observing, which is also a place of witnessing. And it's known as being the sacred witness, because it is a very sacred space. To just be able to witness life as it flows through you, as it maneuvers around you, without getting into like and dislike, want, don't want, must try all the time, somewhere to get to, got to do all these things. Yes, there's things to do, life is active, but we can still stay in this vibration of witnessing, of observing. And then from here, just bringing your feet together, if it's okay for you to come into a Supta Baddha Konasana, but this variation. So just holding the feet. If this isn't very comfortable for you, just stay in this variation of half happy baby with the knees bent and just hugging the knees out towards the armpits. If you're okay with this, then and the feet are connecting in, just press them gently towards each other. Imagine that you're trying to open your knees from your hips if you are in this Supta Baddha Konasana variation. If you're in a modified happy baby, then just stay where you are. And then whatever you've been in, just hugging your knees in towards the chest. And if it's okay on your sacrum, just a very gentle massage, just very slowly going all the way around this very sacred bone. And then changing direction. If this doesn't feel good, don't do it. That should, it doesn't need to be said right. Just never doing anything if it's not feeling right for your body today. Coming back to a neutral position, just hugging your right knee in towards your chest and then extending the left leg up towards the sky. So quite active through the left leg, if you like to here, just bringing in some gentle movement in the ankle. It's really good to get full range of movement in the ankle joint, and we don't tend to do it just like in everyday life. So it's good to just spend this time bringing in some ankle love. So slowly and gently, I'm just going both directions. And then pointing up through the toes towards the sky, and then flexing the toes back towards the shin to press the heel up. So again, just full range of movement, whatever that is for our foot today, but really good to get this full range of movement in. And then in control here, just extending the left leg all the way down to the floor. It may not reach the floor, and if it's hanging off the floor and it's not feeling comfortable, then just placing the sole of the left foot down on the floor. And a moment here, just breathing down now, just using our intention with the breath, just sending the breath all the way down into the ball of the left foot. Starting to anchor in and ground these very intense solar energies. Two massive solar flares, one after the other, just sending this tsunami wave of electromagnetic energy containing really powerful light codes for us to receive. Our body, we are electromagnetic beings. The central nervous system is an electrical system. We are in a constant relationship with the magnetic pull of the earth. And so our system is trying to integrate and receive like a huge wave of energy. So we're just grounding this down through the sacrum, down into the legs, down through the spine. And then bringing your left leg in, a hug of the knees, a moment here. And then stay hugging your left knee and extending the right leg up towards the sky. So again, just bringing in some movement around the ankle. So we get very blocked, like very energetically blocked around the ankles. And also maybe, you know, a physical stiffness. Back in the day, we would have walked around in bare feet, walking on the ground. We'd have been much more mobile and active than we are today. So just, if you haven't already, just go in the other direction as well. So helping to release out any stagnant energy and just giving some love to the ankle bones. And then pointing and flexing. So the biggest point you can possibly do, and then flexing the toes back to reach through the heel. Again, just inviting a more fluid flow of energy. You want to really anchor this energy in and to feel grounded as well, because it can really knock us off our center. We may feel wired, like we've had 10 coffees, you know, running around like a headless chicken, because our central nervous system is so overstimulated from trying to integrate these very powerful energies. And the endocrine system, very linked into the chakras, so all our hormones as well can feel a little bit all over the place. And then very gently keeping the left knee in towards the chest, extending the right leg down. If it doesn't touch the floor and it's uncomfortable to have it just hanging in the air, then place the sole of the right foot on the floor. And we're just sending energy through our intention down into the ball of the right foot. Creating clearer channels to receive this energy. We're receiving it on all different layers, all different levels of our being. But because the physical body is the densest layer of our energy system, this energy that's coming in is, you know, it's carrying so much light. And then we have to try and integrate that down through the different frequencies of our being, and then eventually anchoring it into the physical. So that energy has to slow down as well to be able to be received by the physical body. But also containing more light than the physical body is used to. So the physical body can also struggle. We may find that we're not digesting our food as easily as we usually do, or we may be eating certain foods that just don't feel right for us at the moment. It's because digestion takes up so much energy. And so when the physical body is using a lot of energy to deal with this energy coming in, the digestive system kind of can get left behind a little bit. So bringing the right knee in for a hug. And then placing the feet on the floor, moving into a supine twist, taking the pelvis over to the right, if it works for you, to release the knees down to the left. Extending the right arm out into half crucifix, wanting a sense of the right shoulder being supported and grounded. Nothing to do here, just observing the breath. Maybe we realize we've wandered off with the mind, we've started thinking about stuff. You know, that's as it is, but we just choose to come back. and observe the breath. Coming back up, so just bringing the knees up. If you did take your pelvis over to the right, just bring it back into the center, and we'll just take a moment here before moving into the other side. And then when you're ready, pelvis over to the left if it works for you. You don't have to do that. I just find it brings in more space. It's a little bit nicer on my low back. Knees to the right and extending the left arm out. Practicing being the sacred witness. This is the true nature of who we are. But we've, gone so far away from that over many, many lifetimes. And this is the lifetime where we start to move back into that. We are pure consciousness. We are awareness having this very physical experience. We are not the sum total of all the experiences that we are having. We're here to witness and to observe, to feel, but to allow all these experiences to move through us so that we can learn and grow and develop from them. Not attach to them and get stuck in them, and then create an identity and a sense of self and a personality around that we're also highly attached to and highly identified with. Big fat traps to keep us small, to keep us not shining our light, not stepping into who we really are. So a couple more breaths. Oh, wow. I don't know where the time's gone today. And then rather than coming back up like we did, just take your left arm over so you're lying on your side, lying on your right side, and just taking a few breaths here. And then gently just supporting yourself up and coming up into a seated position. So we may have a really busy day ahead of us, but we can, to some extent, it's just practicing. We can observe and witness the day as it presents itself to us, and then to allow our day, to allow life to flow through us, rather than kind of going in guns are blazing. It's got to be like this. I've got to do all these things. I've got to make it happen. I've got to, it's just a different energy. Everything will happen, but we just allow it to happen in its own time. All the jobs that need to be jobbed, they'll get done. As we try and maneuver through our day from this place of feeling and observing and witnessing. So a couple of breaths here. Sealing practice by drawing space. So extending the arms out, and then a big inhale, just lifting the arms up above the head. Exhale, drawing the hands down, just resting into the heart space with Namaste. And a moment of just personal internal gratitude for our practice, for the breath, for the support. And then gently releasing Namaste and opening up the eyes.